Welcome to the SBCA podcast, Component Connection, where we explore the people, ideas, trends, and innovations shaping the structural framing industry. Regardless of how you touch this industry, we're glad you're here. Enjoy the episode.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Component Connection. My name is Abby Langenberg, Director of Business Development for SBCA, and I will be your host for this episode. Today, I'm joined by Nouran Ghaly. She is the product owner of Crowdbuild CB Quote. And we're going to talk a little bit about what that is, as they are a recipient for the 2026 SBCA Innovation Grant. Welcome, Nouran.
Thank you, Abby. Thanks so much for this introduction and for having me. We're really excited for this opportunity.
So for those who may not be familiar with your company, can you briefly introduce yourself and your role?
Sure. So I'm Nouran Ghaly, and I have a background in architecture. I've been a product owner for several years now, and I've mainly been working on AI-powered solutions for the construction industry. I've been working closely with customers, engineers, and industry professionals to understand the pain points they face and translate those needs into products. My current focus right now is on solutions that automate pre-construction workflows and improve decision-making through data and AI. So Crowdbuild actually started in 2024. But it was born from the know-how built over 9 years, so almost a decade, inside one of residential construction's most demanding workflows, which is component manufacturing. Before Crowdbuild, the same core team had built production-grade technology that parsed PDFs and extracted 3D models from 2D plan sets. And that technology was later licensed to ITW and launched in 2019 as Stitcher. And so Crowdbuild began by building AMI. And what AMI stands for is the Architecturally Intelligent Morphology Engine, which solved the same problem as Stitcher, but in a far more sophisticated way. And we are depending heavily on machine learning to reach that solution. And instead of treating architectural plans as pixels, lines, or symbols, AMI interprets architectural morphology. So it interprets spaces, walls, openings, assemblies, roof systems, levels, structural relationships, and material logic. So it is a lot more advanced than where we started out, as a team a decade ago. And what we built on this year is CB Quote, which is really the workflow engine built on top of AMI. It takes everything AMI has already parsed and spits out a live digital twin of the structure, and complete with SKU-ready quantities and data that's actually ready for procurement. Then it layers that in what we call 4D and 5D. So now you're connecting that geometry and all of that knowledge and those quantities to your schedule, your sequencing, labor, cost, quoting, procurement. So the full picture, essentially.
That's so interesting. So I think for those who have been to BCMC and have been keeping up with SBCA and the SBCA Innovation Grant, this is your Crowdbuild's second time being selected as an Innovation Grant recipient. The first time was in 2024. So what motivated you all to apply again for the Innovation Grant?
So it was an honor to be selected 2 years ago. It's an even bigger honor this time with CB Quote, and to validate 2 years ago the value we saw in that when it was first starting out. But this time around, it is especially significant to us to confirm the continuous growth and need for where it's going. CB Quote's 4D and 5D capabilities represent the next stage of that journey, helping teams connect quantity, schedules, and costs in a much smarter way. So we're so excited to be able to validate and share that with the industry.
Yeah, in that same vein, one of the things that our Innovation Grant recipients receive is a booth at BCMC in our Innovation Alley. So How has that visibility and direct engagement with industry professionals impacted your innovation and those conversations that you're having with customers?
It greatly impacted our network for sure. The past 2 years have been full of meaningful conversations with industry professionals as well as potential partnerships and customers. And that all stemmed from 2 years ago building those networks. It's important to keep a finger on the pulse when it comes to growing a meaningful product that can seamlessly integrate into the industry, and BCMC is a huge part of that.
So tell us about the innovation that was selected this year. You told us a little bit already, but what challenge in the structural building components industry does it aim to solve?
So most people are familiar with 3D models, right? And that's what we appeared with 2 years ago using CBQuo is the 2D auto detection and 3D model and digital twin that comes with that, which represent the physical building itself. 4D adds time, so it adds a whole new layer, allowing us to understand how construction progresses over a schedule. 5D adds the cost, like labor costs, helping teams understand the financial impact of project decisions. Together, they create a more complete picture of how a project will be built and what it will cost, while also having a single source of truth throughout the entire processing of all this data. And it is all based on live data changes in real time.
So, what makes this innovation different from other solutions that might be in the market or coming to market soon?
Good question. So, by using AI to understand drawings and automatically generate meaningful project data, what makes it particularly powerful is how we connect quantities with both schedule and cost dimensions, enabling 4D and 5D project insights much earlier on in the project lifecycle, which saves a lot of time and a lot of money. A major feature in this solution is the ability to compare design changes in real time and see the effects on the cost and scheduling side by side with today's market changes live. So being able to do this in real time saves a lot of issues that happens later on in the life cycle of construction.
Absolutely. So, how do you see this particular innovation impacting component manufacturers and quite possibly the industry as a whole?
I think one of the biggest benefits is the dramatic reduction in time spent generating quantity takeoff. So it is a very tedious task. Tasks that previously required extensive manual effort can now be completed much, much faster, allowing teams to bid on more projects and focus on higher value activities. So it's not correct to think about it as in we are replacing estimators. We're just empowering estimators to focus on what they're really good at and what their expertise are really should be used for. Better information earlier in the process as well reduces uncertainty. When teams have greater confidence in quantity, schedules, and costs, they can make more informed decisions, identify issues much sooner, and reduce the likelihood of costly surprises later on in the project, which we see happening quite frequently.
Absolutely. So, as a repeat recipient, your company has consistently demonstrated a commitment to innovation. So, how do you then foster that culture that encourages new ideas and that continuous improvement in the structural components industry?
Construction is always changing, and with technology, especially AI, it's evolving at an incredible pace. We believe it's our responsibility to stay ahead of that curve. We continuously explore new technologies, challenge ourselves to think differently, and ask how we can apply these advances to solve real industry problems. So, combined with a culture that encourages curiosity and collaboration, that commitment to continuous learning is what really keeps innovation alive within our company.
So, a question I have for you, maybe personally, is what emerging trends or opportunities for innovation are you most excited about in our industry right now?
I think the evolution of AI from productivity tool into a decision support tool is really essential in our industry at the moment. The construction industry generates enormous amounts of data, and AI now has the potential to help teams turn that data into meaningful insights much faster than ever before. I'm also excited by the growing integration and automation opportunities that have the potential to shape the future of construction life cycles. Ultimately, I think the biggest opportunity is helping construction professionals spend less time gathering information and more time making informed decisions. For decades, construction professionals have been asked to do more with less. I think the next wave of innovation is about giving them tools that don't just work faster, but actually help them think smarter.
Absolutely. So what are you all looking forward to as you move on with this innovation? What is exciting you guys about this innovation moving forward in the industry?
So I think what's really exciting about this is shifting the main focus from reactive management into predictive planning. And I think that shift is really empowering to see how CrowdBuild is evolving and changing throughout the years and pushing even stronger into that sort of goal or cause that we're trying to tackle.
Yeah. So, what advice would you give to companies that are considering applying for the SBC Innovation Grant in the future?
I think find a pain point you're passionate to solve and give it your best attempt. And through trial and error, it really does pay off to keep an iterative process that consistently grows in the right direction rather than focusing on perfecting the solution right off the bat.
Yeah, I definitely see that. For you all, what are you most looking forward to at BCMC this year? This will be your first time, but not CrowdBuild's first time at BCMC. What are you guys kind of looking forward to for the show?
For all of us, I think it's more networking, getting feedback on our latest innovation, I think is the most exciting part, and learning as much as we can about where we're at as an industry. I think those are the key takeaways we're always excited about for BCMC.
Yes, me too. Me too. I love seeing everybody at BCMC and getting to have those one-on-one conversations with
Yes.
potential customers, but also maybe people that aren't customers that have really good insight that's
It is
really
so
able to
exciting.
give you great feedback, right?
Exactly. Exactly. It's so exciting. And it's exciting to see what everyone else is working on and what kind of direction that the industry is going in.
Yes, I completely agree. Well, thank you, Nouran, for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Abby. Thank you for having me, and I'll see you very soon.
Yes, we'll see you in September. So, for those of you that are listening that have not registered for BCMC, BCMC is our annual trade show, and we will be hosting it in Columbus this year from September 14th to the 18th. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to the SBCA staff. We're here to answer any questions you may have about BCMC, about SBCA, and let us know what you thought about this episode. If you enjoyed it, please like and share it. And thank you guys for listening to Component Connection, and we hope you have a good day.
Thanks for listening to Component Connection, brought to you by SBCA. If there's a topic you'd like us to explore in a future episode, email us at podcast@sbcacomponents.com.